My very warm greetings to all my colleagues, members of the income tax family, and all our stakeholders on the occasion of the 167th Income Tax Day. Income Tax Day is a special occasion for all of us. It allows us to take pride in what we have achieved together, while also giving us an opportunity to pause, reflect, and ask ourselves an important question. How do we make our institutions stronger, more capable, and more responsive to the needs of a changing India? Over the last 2 years, our conversations have followed a natural progression. In 2024, I spoke about the prudent approach and the values that should guide our work as a modern tax administration. Last year, I spoke about the new Income Tax Act 2025 and the opportunity it presented to build a simpler, clearer, and more contemporary tax framework. Today, I would like to take that conversation forward and speak about the next stage of that journey. Drafting a law is an important responsibility, but implementing it well is an even greater one. Ultimately, it is implementation that shapes the experience of every taxpayer. With the new Act now in force, our work has entered a new phase. The rules have already been notified, considerable progress has been made in finalizing the prescribed forms, and the remaining forms will be notified well before they are required. At the same time, our processes, systems, and technology continue to be aligned with the new law. As we move towards the first cycle of return filing under the new Act, every aspect of this preparation assumes great importance. However, preparing for a new law is not only about systems and processes. It is equally about preparing ourselves. Training and capacity building will therefore continue to receive our close attention. The new Act will require all of us to familiarize ourselves with its provisions while ensuring that the new law is understood correctly vis-à-vis the old one. Consistency in interpretation and application will be essential, and each one of us has the responsibility to contribute towards that objective. For the first time, we are also in a position to monitor our capacity building efforts much more closely. Through the Karmayogi Shiksha Path platform, we now have a much better visibility of participation in training programs across the department. This shall enable us to identify any learning gaps and make our training efforts more focused. I would therefore urge all the Principal Chief Commissioners and the senior officers to make use of this opportunity to review the training requirements of their respective regions, identify areas that need greater attention, and ensure that every officer and official is equipped with the knowledge and confidence required to implement the new Act effectively. Our preparation must also extend beyond the department. Successful implementation will depend upon effective engagement not only taxpayers and professionals, but with a larger ecosystem consisting of banks, reporting entities, other departments and institutions that interact with the tax department. Our outreach efforts must therefore continue to focus on creating awareness, addressing concerns, and ensuring that the new law is understood and applied consistently. The Prarambh outreach program has made a good beginning in this direction, and I hope we'll continue to build upon it in the months ahead. One of the most satisfying aspects of the work on the new Income Tax Act was the spirit of collaboration that it fostered. Officers and officials from different regions, directorates, and functional areas worked together, brought different perspectives to the table, and contributed to a common objective. I would urge that we preserve the same spirit as the law moves into implementation. As the new law begins to operate, there may be situations where we may come across any provision that requires greater clarity, a procedure that may be simplified, a form that can be improved, or a system that needs refinement. Many of these will become apparent only through actual implementation. In the unlikely situation that it happens, I would encourage all of us to bring such issues to notice. Equally, if we have suggestions that can make a process simpler or a system more effective, we should not hesitate to put them forward. Discussions at the level of charge, the region, the directorate have always helped us arrive at better solutions, and I hope that this culture of open dialogue and constructive feedback will continue. While we prepare for what lies ahead, the responsibilities before us today remain equally important. As we discharge these responsibilities, we must remember to always remain both responsive and responsible. Whether it is the redressal of taxpayer grievances, rectification of mistakes, disposal of appeals, or giving timely appeal effect, every service that we provide should reflect our commitment to the timelines laid down in the Citizens' Charter. Timely delivery is not merely a matter of efficiency, it is essential for sustaining the trust that the taxpayers place in our institution. Over the past year, our officers and officials have made significant progress in addressing taxpayer grievances. A large number of pending grievances have been resolved, and our performance in this area has shown encouraging improvement. I sincerely appreciate the commitment with which teams across the country have taken up this work. But this is an area that will continue to require our sustained attention. The same is true of litigation. Considerable progress has been made in reducing pendency and improving the disposal of appeals, and I would like to commend all those officers who have contributed to this cause. At the same time, we recognize there is still much ground to cover, and I am confident that we will continue to maintain the same focus in the coming year. The common thread running through all these responsibilities is the quality of service to taxpayers. Whether we are implementing the new law, deciding an appeal, addressing a grievance, or responding to a request for rectification, our objective should always be the same: to administer the law fairly, efficiently, and within the time frames that we have committed ourselves to. An equally important aspect of our service to taxpayers is the quality of assessment orders that we pass. Good assessments begin with asking right questions, and this is where supervisory officers have a vital role in mentoring and guiding younger officers to ensure sound decision making and consistent application of law. As expectations from the department continue to grow, it is important that our officers and officials have the infrastructure and technological support needed to discharge their responsibilities effectively. Over the past year, the government has extended significant support for improving the department's infrastructure. New office and residential buildings have been sanctioned in several locations, including Mumbai, Delhi, Ahmedabad, and Bengaluru. These projects will provide better facilities to our officers and officials and create workspaces and residential facilities that are better suited to the needs of a modern organization. I would like to place on record my sincere gratitude to the Honorable Finance Minister and the government for their continued support in strengthening the institutional capacity of the Income Tax Department. Our technological capabilities are also being strengthened through a number of important initiatives. The development of PAN 2.0, CPC TDS 2.0, ITBA 2.0, Insight 2.0, and IEC 3.0, and the continued modernization of our digital systems will make our processes more efficient, more integrated, and better aligned with the needs of the taxpayers. At the same time, the distribution of new laptops will commence shortly, and it reflects our commitment to ensuring that our officers have the tools they need to perform their responsibilities effectively. Alongside these technological initiatives, there is yet another important development that deserves our attention. Research and analytics will play an increasingly important role in the years ahead, enabling us to make better use of information, identify emerging trends, and support more informed decision making. Artificial intelligence, when applied to mature and reliable data, has tremendous potential to strengthen these capabilities. I would encourage every officer to develop familiarity with these emerging tools and make the best use of them in discharge of their responsibilities. Our experience with Saksham Nudge initiative has further reinforced the value of this approach. It has demonstrated that when data is used in a thoughtful and non-intrusive manner, and when the right issues are communicated to taxpayers at the right time, voluntary compliance improves. This marks an important evolution in the way we administer the tax laws, complementing our existing processes with greater use of data analytics and constructive engagement, while it's strengthening trust between the taxpayer and the department. Technology, however, is only an enabler. The true strength of any institution lies in the people who use these tools with integrity, competence, and a sense of public purpose. As we contribute to the nation's journey towards Viksit Bharat, we should remember that our responsibility extends beyond the administration of tax laws. The manner in which we discharge our responsibilities is equally important. Fairness, consistency, responsiveness, and professionalism is what sustain public confidence in the tax system, and every interaction that we have with the taxpayer contributes to that confidence. No law, however carefully drafted, can provide an answer to every situation that we encounter. There will always be circumstances that call for judgment, balance, and appreciation of both the letter and spirit of the law. These qualities define the character of an institution and the confidence that society places in it. As we celebrate another Income Tax Day, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to every officer and official of the department. Whether you serve in the field or at the directorates, whether you are at the beginning of your career or have spent decades in public service, your commitment and hard work are what makes this institution what it is. And on this Income Tax Day, I also take this opportunity to thank our taxpayers, tax professionals, and all our stakeholders for their continued cooperation and constructive engagement with the department. A relationship built on trust, mutual respect, and open dialogue will continue to strengthen our tax administration and help us serve the nation better. As we look ahead, our laws will evolve, technology will continue to advance, and the expectations of the society from public institutions will continue to grow. What must remain constant is a commitment to administer the law with integrity, fairness, and sound judgment. I am confident that this department will continue to hold that tradition in the years to come. Thank you, and my best wishes to all of you on the occasion of the Income Tax Day. Jai Hind.